Welcome to the Aligned Soul Entertainment Podcast, where you get to be human and quantum leap. I'm your host and transformational mentor, Christine Michelle. Let's talk manifestation, magic, and all things entertaining, because life was meant to be fun. So let's go have some. Hello. This podcast is brought to you by the Quantum Manifesting Academy. QMA is the 6-week group coaching program where you get to shift and become what you desire fast, because quantum leaps get to be #normal for you. This group program is amazing and it's facilitated by me. Check the link in the show notes to find out more. But it includes one-to-one access, it includes group videos, it includes a lot of hot seat coaching and more. Check the link in the show notes and let's get to the show. Hello. It is Christine Michelle. I want to talk about manifesting and do you have to be perfect? Because I am constantly getting the question about why haven't I manifested and this isn't working and what's going on and all of those things. So the big thing that I wanted to talk about was, do you have to be perfect in manifesting? And the thing is that no, right? Because you are manifesting all day, every day. And even with intentional manifesting, you don't have to be perfect, right? There's so many different types of manifesting, right? You can manifest frantically and you can manifest when you're sad, and you've got things going on. I was watching IG stories today and Alex Beaton, she just had the best launch, amazing launch, 500 new people that jumped into her project storyline. And she was so sad today. And she just had a sad moment, but the way she was feeling at that moment didn't stop her success. And that's the big point I want to make, is that you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be happy, joy all day, every day. There's 3 things that you need to do, some tips that I'm going to give you a little bit later that will help you when you're going through it and you still are intentionally manifesting, allowing quantum manifesting what you want in your life. So I've come across the question a lot, oh, I had a bad day, or I got angry at my boyfriend, or I did something wrong. Did that mess up my manifestation? And the answer is no, it didn't mess up your manifestation. What the big thing is it's all about alignment, right? And if you think about it this way, in order to manifest what you want, right, you're quantum shifting, right? You're shifting into the reality where you actually have what you want. So let's just use this as an example. We can use similar to the Alex Beaton example. Let's say you have an amazing business and you want to manifest a good launch, right? And so the you who has the launch, right? She believes in that launch fully. She believes in her product. She believes that money is easy and it gets to flow to her, right? And the question is how do you want to feel during that launch, right? Do you want to feel happy? Do you want to feel excited? Do you want to feel great, right? If you focus on the things, you'll launch the things, right? But in addition to manifesting what you want, I'm assuming that intentionally manifesting, you want to also manifest you feeling okay. And so what I would do if I was manifesting an amazing launch, I would also include in my goals is that you're the happiest that you've ever been and you feel amazing in this launch and during the launch, and it was the easiest it's ever been, right? But know that if you have a moment where you're sitting there and you're not feeling so great, right? You're feeling sad. All of that is just feedback for maybe some thoughts or some emotions, or maybe your brain is trying to protect you, whatever it is. And if you can tap into it and allow that to be okay, then you can choose what you want to feel on the other side of it and not make yourself wrong for feeling how you feel, right? I'm you get to feel your feels, feel your feels, and know that it's okay. Because think about it, the you who's having this amazing launch, is she never ever going to have a bad day in her life, right? Is she never ever going to feel sad? She is. And so for you to think that you're never like you got upset one day or you were angry another day and that totally messed up your manifestation is crazy, because you're still human and you are going to feel how you feel even after you've manifested what you manifested. So tell me if that makes sense. So you just really can understand that you don't have to be perfect. There's no such thing as perfection, especially in manifesting. Just have your goal, right? And maintain an awareness of how you're feeling. So, wait, my three tips, the three tips that I want to put forth when you're manifesting and you're going through something, the first thing is just accept where you are, right? So this person that we talked about, let's say you wanted to manifest an amazing launch, but maybe financially you're not exactly where you want to be. The first step to releasing resistance is to accept where you are. And I know I talked about this on my podcast, which is launching soon. Whenever I say accept where you are, especially to my clients, they get like, what? What do you mean accept where I am? That's going to keep me where I am. And I'm like, no, it's not going to keep you where you are. In fact, it's going to release the resistance, because the more you push against where you are, the more you're creating resistance that's keeping you there. But if you can look at where you are and just say, okay, it is what it is. There's some choices that I made that I ended up here, or, this is just where I am and it's totally fine. And now I can look forward to receiving and stepping into the more that is ready and available for me. That releases all of the resistance. So that's the first point. A second point is decide, right? I know everyone says decide, but this is the way you can do it. Decide that I get to manifest what I want each and every time. And it doesn't matter what I do, right? And if you can put that as something that you just decide, manifestation just works for me because that is my superpower, then you also take some of the pressure off of yourself to be perfect, to be happy all the time, to only say all the right things and think all the right things, right? You take the pressure off yourself because you say, no, this is inevitable. I asked, I decided, it's done and done. So I decide that once I ask, I get to manifest what I want, when I want it, how I want it. And that's just how it works for me. And you can write this every day. Just make sure you put it in your journal and you really nurture that belief. Then you will start to see it unfold into your life and you'll start to believe it, and you won't hold yourself off. It's like, what did I do? Because when you keep looking at what you did wrong or where you're missing it, like looking behind yourself, trying to figure out what's going on, you're slowing down your manifestation and you're bringing in the energy of someone who doesn't already have what you desire. Because if you had it, right, if you were being her now, you wouldn't be looking for where you're going wrong, right? You would just continually move forward, and you'd continually stepping in. If something happened that you didn't too love, you'd say, okay, I know this is for my good, right? So how is this working for me and what good is coming in? And so that's the way you can like kind of look at it to take off all the pressure. And then number three, awareness, right? My favorite quote, which I created, is in my book. Awareness is the beginning of transformation. So once you allow yourself to be aware, right, you're going to have to be aware when you're aware of where you are, accepting where it is, right? Aware of what have you decided? What identity are you identifying with, right? Which I'll talk about in my Quantum Manifestation Academy, is identity, right? When you can really hone in on the identity of the woman who already has what you desire, when you can identify with that identity and become that identity, that is when you'll see things like shift in your life. When you'll just know that you're being her, you're acting like her, you're dressing like her, you're feeling like her, like this is you, this is your identity. You're the identity of, like in that example, you're the identity of the woman with the successful course, right? And instead of the identity of the girl who's struggling financially, you're the one who's stepping in the more, feeling her abundance, knowing that she is helping and reaching out to many people, all of that stuff. So Awareness is the beginning of transformation. And the more you allow yourself to be aware of the thoughts that you're thinking or how you're feeling, that might be the easiest way to do it. And then just tap into, okay, that's interesting that I'm feeling that way, or that's interesting that I have that belief. And then you can move forward to the transformation, shifting it, choosing something new. So, those are my tips because, like I said, there's no perfection in manifesting. Perfection is a fallacy, it doesn't exist, it's not true. And you get to choose how you manifest, right? How you feel. So, I'm not saying that you won't feel bad and you won't do this, but if you want to like feel good, you want to feel light and bright, then in that goal list, include a goal of I'm happier than I've ever been. I'm getting happier and happier, or I'm more confident than I've ever been. I'm getting more and more confident. Because on our goal list, a lot of times we have, okay, I want this salary, or I want this career, I want this many kids and this gorgeous husband and all of that, but we never put our feelings on there. And so include your feelings as a goal, but also forgive yourself and know that it is okay to feel how you feel those feelings, because they're coming to you as a gift that you get to unwrap. And then once you unwrap it, love it, and appreciate it, you can choose to feel something new, or you can choose to move forward and shift those beliefs or whatever caused this feeling to whatever you like. So I hope this helped. You don't have to be perfect when manifesting, because there's no such thing as perfection. And the more you strive to try to be perfect and be happy, happy, joy, joy all day, and stop acknowledging when you're not feeling sad, or I mean, when you are feeling sad, or you're not acknowledging when you're unhappy, or you're truly not acknowledging how you feel, you are slowing down your manifestation. In fact, you are making things worse. Acknowledgement, receiving the way you feel, and being okay with it is what's going to propel you to manifesting what you desire. So, on that note, I want to remind you that the Quantum Manifesting Academy is open. I'm super excited about it. It is 6 weeks with me. Everybody gets a one-to-one with me that normally costs over $500, but you're getting the whole program for $497. So it's super crazy. So you can check that out. I'll put the link down in the comments. The reason why I'm so passionate about this academy is because it's going to take you through like quantum manifesting 101 to a PhD in quantum manifesting. So we're going to go through, like, there's pre-work that's going to be all about explaining quantum manifesting and how you can manifest what you desire fast. But then it's also going to take you through the 6 phases that all work together, right? There's an awareness phase, the identity that I spoke about. In NLP, we talk about identity a lot. And it is, what identity are you having now, right? And so in one of my videos, I talked about my client who wanted to go from non-management level to VP level. Her identity was at the non-management level. She identified herself as that who she was. And so she needed to shift into her VP move, identity level, right? Or when I shifted from corporate America, I was a corporate executive for 20 years. I needed to shift from that is who I was to being the successful leader in the personal development industry. That is the identity that I needed to shift into. And until you lock in like that identity, what it feels like, that is when you can shift into it. And so the first week we'll talk about awareness, like awareness of where you are, accepting where you are, stepping into being okay. But then also understanding in the next phase, what is your identity? What are you identifying, yourself as? And so once you understand that, then you can say, okay, what's the identity that I want to step into? And then once you start stepping into that identity, beliefs are going to come up. You're going to need to do some healing, right? Some healing to know that you're worthy, healing to know that you get to receive what you desire, healing from, maybe it's inner child work, maybe it's going to be some EFT work, whatever it is, you're going to need to do some healing so that you can close the gap from where you want to be, right? From where you are to where you desire, right? To being that woman who already has what you desire. And so that is the third part. And then the fourth part is shifting into that identity, right? Because once you do the healing, you have created space, you have opened space, and now you can just step on into that identity. This is when you can create the mantras or the affirmations, because now your brain is ready to tap into it, ready to nurture those new beliefs, ready to hear whatever that new story is, because you've been aware, you've looked at your own identity, you've established what identity you want to shift into, and you've healed the things that you feel are keeping you where you are. So now you've created space so that you can step into that identity. And then once you really know that identity, you can start to embody that. And that's where you become to be her now. You start to be her now. You start to take massive action as her now, starting to dress like her now, breathing like her now, doing her the morning routine that you know she would do, right? And you're really becoming that woman, right? And so then, and finally, it's all about the quantum manifestation, actually receiving what you desire in your life. You're going to start receiving opportunities, receiving things that align with what you have asked for. And that's why it's just the most amazing 6 weeks, because you start one place and then you end in the place of either receiving your manifestation or receiving the opportunities that are leading to you actually manifesting what you desire in your life. I've seen it time and time again. And like I said, for my client that moved up so quickly, it was less than a year for something that would normally take her 5 years. I've seen, like, even myself, once I decided that I was moving out of my corporate job and started to hone in on the identity, it was less than a month. So things can happen extremely quickly, but it's when you get all of these phases and start to work these phases together, give yourself permission to expand, open up to massive receiving. Receiving is a huge piece of that. And that is when you can really, really manifest on a fast quantum level. So I am looking forward to seeing those of you who feel like this is aligned and you are ready to finally manifest what you desire. I'm looking forward to seeing you there. So if you join, the first 3 people that joined were going to get Voxer access for the entire period of the course, which means that you get to text me and you get to voicemail me while you're taking the course. When stuff comes up, we get to move through it. So not only do you get a one-to-one, but you also get a value of $22.50, which is Voxer access for 6 weeks. I normally only do it for 30 days, and I do it for $1,500. But that's for the first 3 people, and that's because when you're stepping up and listening to the call of the universe or something that feels like it is calling you to it, that is when I know that you are in it. You're ready to make a change. You're ready to step into what your next level is. And I'm excited to bring you there and help you do it. So anyway, that is it for me today. Till then, hugs and kisses and all of the feels. Bye. Thank you for listening to the Aligned Soul podcast. And if you enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed recording it for you, please leave a 5-star review. It will help get this podcast out to even more people, and I get to have more fun with you. Also, come join the Aligned Soul Collective, which is my free Facebook group that is growing with a whole bunch of women that love to talk about entertainment, the manifesting, quantum shifting, and all of the things. And remember, never forget to just be her now and take aligned